Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We are at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. It's time for the All-Star Political Panel. Rick and Bruce are traveling. You guys enjoy yourself because the ladies are doing just fine. They carried the show last week. I'm for sure they'll be okay today. We have Jane. We have Roll Your Eyes, Jane. And Candace with us. So, guys, if you are out there tuned in, hello. Hope you're enjoying your travels. Okay. Let's see. Where do we start? Okay, now, so let me see if, can I say this as a man, as a white male, can I say this in front of the two of you? I don't believe Dr. Ford. Are you okay with, are you going to attack me?
Okay with that.
Yeah.
But you know what that,
Wait, you used to say, I think it's okay.
Oh, did you hear her, did you hear that voice thing?
I think it's all right. I don't know.
Did you hear the mimic of the voice?
Yes, and that was hilarious.
Yes.
She did a perfect job.
Oh, yeah. She was coached, everything. But let me say, the reason I asked you that right out of the box, can I say I don't believe her? Do you realize, you know, I don't want to go too deep on subjects, but I'm a believer that the media along with, you know, my conspiracy theory thoughts, sorry to say that out loud, mind control is real. Okay? It is real. Okay? If you say something over and over and over and keep telling a lie, do you realize they're trying to take my right or my free thinking ability to be a free thinker away and make my own decision? I'm not allowed to say I don't believe her. I have to. I mean, you have to. They are that angry. They are that mean. You have to believe her. They're wearing T-shirts saying, I believe the survivor. What does she survive from? We find, do you realize I watch MSNBC and CNN for reasons, okay? And I watch it for reasons. I watch clips at night and so forth. Not once this morning, yesterday, not once this week did I hear on CNN where her ex-boyfriend for 6 years, a 6-year relationship, a signed statement of, penalty of perjury under the law, said, really, 2 front doors? She lived in an apartment, really? Mm-hmm. That said, I watched her show her friend how to beat a polygraph. Really?
She flew in small planes.
So everything, CNN, MSNBC never brought it up. But I am just supposed to, as a white male, I'm just supposed to say, I believe her.
You're supposed to be sorry for everything anyway.
Right.
I'm not sorry or ashamed for anything that ever happened because I've done none of it. So, but you're supposed to take that, humiliated stance. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. That the world has issues. That's your fault.
But I mean, I refuse to let them tell me or make my decision for me. I'm reading the facts.
The facts are the bottom line.
Well, see, nobody wants you to muddy the water with the facts because that's not what they're interested in. That's not the agenda. That's not the thing that the group speak that we're talking today. We are in lockstep saying, we believe her, we believe her, we believe her. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to jump on the train with everybody else, just like we had to do if you wanted to do it in high school so you could be part of the crowd. And if you thought for yourself you weren't part of the crowd, you were considered weird or whatever. And we're still weird, I guess, because we still don't jump on the crowd's bandwagon and take off with them.
Jane, what say you about all this we've learned? Do you believe Dr. Ford? Now, I'm going to ask you this for a reason, and I will only bring it up. I'm not bringing it up. I'll leave the door open for you at any time. Yeah. You and I have talked in the past. You've experienced this. You brought it up on the show last week. They go into detail. Not asking you now.
Yeah.
But as somebody that has experienced this in your life, mm-hmm. Are you kindly upset that somebody is using this serious subject as a political instrument?
You have no idea. I mean, no one has any idea. And they use people that are in my shoes, women who are in my shoes. and they make them some kind of an oracle of Delphi, and then they allow the ones that are obviously telling a falsehood. And the reason I say obviously is that there are no facts. There's nothing to back it up. Now, what it would be very interesting to do is for, first of all, for me to come out nationally, really call up Sean Hannity, and then tell him my story. This happened to me. I was 14. I told my mother. So then the next day say, and by the way, Chuck Schumer assaulted me at so-and-so a time, or any Democrat. It would be so interesting to see how they treated me in 24-hour period, or even a week period. That would be really fun, to tell you the truth, except I'd be annihilated. But the thing is, I think it's turning from, I think it's backfiring. I mean, a lot of people are saying that, but it's just the CNN, MSNBC. They're holding to it. But do you know, if you're reading, not even between the lines, real people are seeing the hypocrisy of this, and I think they're changing.
I think you're 100% right.
So that's the good thing, and it's just the diehards. I mean, no one can take those facts. And
well, you know, the thing is, and before you get back in here, Candace, the thing is, let me just say, I agree with you 100%, because what is Trump is brilliant. Brilliant, absolutely. Okay, they hate him. Okay,
they're terrified.
Yes, that's it.
I like the little picture that says on social media, "It's you they're after. I just got in the way."
Exactly.
Trump, all right.
That is
true.
So
that is true, Trump. But I said on this show, I said before we had the show last week when this came out, I said, everybody relax and rely on the common sense of the American people.
Right.
I think it's out there, and we're seeing the polling. Now, Trump, they call it mocking, but the other night in South Haven, Mississippi, he just highlighted. She can remember 36 years ago she had one beer.
I love
that. She had one beer, and she can remember, he didn't say this, not quote, but she can remember Brett Kavanaugh jumped on her, she had one beer. Where was it at? I don't know. When did you get there? I don't know. Who else was there? I don't know. How'd you get home? I don't know. But I had one beer, okay? But the home run that he hit, the home run that he really hit, is when he said, "Can you hear the phone call? Mom, somebody just accused me of something and I lost my job." I said, "Mom," he did that on stage. That resonated. Because let me tell you something. I had Cindy Glickard on my show about a week and a half ago. And her son, which I know very well, I know their son, has a great job. And she has not been able to sleep with the thought that somebody could just walk in. She's got 2 twin grandsons. They're beautiful. Her daughter-in-law, they have a beautiful family, and walk in and say, her son did something. And she said, I have not even slept, just the thought that somebody could ruin my son's whole career, just an accusation. So when Trump got on stage the other night and said, think of the phone call when somebody calls and says, Mom, I'm going to tell you, that hit home. Because I think what's resonating more than anything are the mothers out there that have sons, have grandsons, have children, that are thinking, you know what, one phone call, one accusation, and my son's career is completely over.
You know, I was sitting with some relatives of mine that are far, far, far left, and the relative is the female, and of course she's married, and we don't talk politics very much because it turns into what you expect it to turn into. So we just don't talk it. But we were saying some little blurb, and I just said her husband is an executive, a national. I mean, he's just huge, and I just simply said, well, you know how it is in the executive world. I mean, it's bite your back and Men do it too. Let me tell you, they're just as ruthless. And I said, let's just hope that nothing comes out against XYZ. Let's call him John. Let's just hope no one says that or prompts someone to say that. And man, you know what? I'm not sure they had ever thought of that. And talk about deer in the headlights. Both of them just kind of go in a split second thinking, oh my gosh, it can happen to us.
It can happen to anybody.
So I think that you're exactly right. People are making it personal.
Right.
And when they personalize it, I mean, you can't breathe. I mean, I think about my husband.
Oh, no, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean,
you just can't breathe. You're so terrified, and you don't. Anyone has
I think people really, we don't want to we're not here on my show. In general, I know people don't want to discount in any way if a woman says this happened.
No, that's not the point.
But we also have been watching due process go away.
Yes.
That scared a lot of people in this country.
And they say these things out loud. You have to prove yourself innocent. I mean, just think about it.
These are lawmakers that are saying that. That's not like some dopey person that's never read anything. These are lawmakers that are saying, oh, you have to prove that you're not guilty. No, it's the other way around. She has to prove that he is.
Oh, man.
But that's the freaky thing, is these are lawmakers that are saying that.
What's your opinion on, let me ask you a question. What's your opinion on Lindsey, Graham? I mean, I'll tell you.
Well, I've said jokingly right here on camera, he has caused me to believe in alien abduction. I told you that because I don't know where Lindsey's at.
You wonder why he is where he is at, and why he is at there.
Why he has totally changed. You ever wonder if
it's an
he
interesting
was
story.
Totally
We may never know.
The other day, somebody said something true or false, if it is or whatever. But somebody said something on one of those shows. Said, because I will tell you this: the left is looking for Lindsey Graham, and not the Lindsey Graham we're seeing now. They're looking for him.
We're all looking for him.
They're looking for
but what I'm saying is, I watch MSNBC and I watch CNN, and they're asking on there. Like when they play clips,
really?
They will say, well, this is certainly not the Lindsey Graham. Where is our Lindsey Graham that, was with the Maverick John McCain? And they're bringing it up. They're talking about it. They're talking about it. I have to say, somebody said the other day, just off the cuff, and I said, there's something I want to think out, that Lindsey Graham is rehearsing for a cabinet position. That's what
Lance, help us all.
Well, it's not uncommon. The media will make it the end of the world, but it's not uncommon for an eight-year, two-term president, maybe some cabinet positions change 2 to 3 times.
Yeah,
so it's not uncommon. They'll make it look like it's terrible, but it's not. So after the midterms, you are going to see changes in the cabinet. That's not the end of the world, okay?
For a lot of reasons.
Right, and Lindsey Graham might be he may be rehearsing for his cabinet position. I don't know. But I want to go to something you talked about when we were getting ready for the show, because I'm thinking last night, first of all, the crazy people came to town. And I want to give a shout out to Senator David Perdue, because there's times when you sit here and you say, would somebody actually call them out for who they are? And Senator David Perdue from Georgia here was rushed into a bathroom. The woman, did you see the video? The two women chased him through the airport. They were attacking him. The one woman was in front of him. She kept slowing down on purpose, okay? And then she'd say, "Don't touch me. Don't touch me." Did you see that? Mm-hmm. And she did it on purpose. So he finally you know what? I'm just going to go in the bathroom. And they're yelling in the men's room at an airport there in Washington, D.C., you have to come out sooner or later. You have to come out. So he goes to the floor. It's a great speech. You should watch it. He goes to the floor, and you should read the comment. And he says, it's time to call these activists out for who they are. George Soros. Mm-hmm. He said George Soros. He said it's time to call these people out, stand up to them. And his words weren't fight back, but I think it was in the vein of fight back and George Soros, and expose George Soros for who he is. And he said that, and I got to give him a shout out for that.
I saw McConnell walking through the airport. And
Yeah, I saw that.
And then he just kept walking, got on the escalator,
Well, he got
and
the security between
and the
them,
woman
too.
said, "You always turn your back on women like this."
Yes.
I mean, he's going up an escalator, but who? I don't know. You
It's-
just
Well,
get so
Orrin Hatch said, "Grow up." Told that one finally, "Grow up," and she's like, "You don't talk to me that way. You don't talk
Yes,
to me
I
that
did.
way."
One of them is like, he was in an elevator and they were trying to do this Jeff Flake thing, and he was like, "Step back." So it was like, you need to get out and move out of my way. It's just time that somebody grew a backbone and started fighting back. But the thing is, you've got to think about how much money is being paid to these activists, plus these signs. I mean, I ordered
That's what I
signs.
wanted to get into for what you were talking about money.
Yeah, there's
They don't print 'em
tons of
overnight
money.
either.
No, they don't print them instantly. They had to be ready. They're very expensive. They had whole sheets that said, "I believe Christine," that they were flipping around. This is a huge outlay of money. And then you've got people like, she looked like Pebbles from the Flintstones with orange hair, and she had it pulled up like Pebbles.
Oh, I've
did.
seen orange, green, purple.
And their vocabulary is severely limited, and the people need to decide. Okay, honey, let's talk about that. The people did decide. Whoever you voted for that went to Washington is your representative of the people. If you don't know what the process is, you don't need to be talking. That's the thing that kills me. Is there's a big, huge outlay of money. You've got people out there who could not find their behind with 2 hands, a flashlight, and a GPS.
All right, I'm going to tell you something, and here's my belief, because I said it. I have not been given. Let's see, would you call it the gift of patience? That's just not me. Okay.
It's not one of your virtues.
But right, there you go. One of my virtues is not patience. But I will say this: over some subjects, I do realize where we need to be patient. And I said early on in this, just relax, because we pay attention to politics. I'm going to tell you something, okay? You've got people that's driving down 515 this morning, and they're going to work, and they do not pay attention to politics. But I tell you what they do. They see the protesters while they're trying to get coffee, and soccer mom says, as she's getting the kids ready for school, soccer mom says, I wonder who pays these people. And then they get in the car and go to. It's actually connecting with a different group of people in this country.
Yeah, it is.
Okay?
It is.
Hey, I'm going to work, man. And they're up there. Who buys these signs?
Don't they work?
These things are starting to happen. And
That's
that's why you see the polling turning, is because people that don't even pay attention.
Yeah, that's a group I hadn't even thought
Yeah,
of.
they're not
I
even
was
paying
thinking
attention.
of actual liberals that were saying, wait a second, this is our country. I mean, some liberals realize the value of our country. I mean, they just don't want a socialistic, communistic entity. So I think, but these are the people that are waking up, and there are a lot of them. Oh my goodness, that don't watch the news, that don't care. The millennials, they vote for Hillary because she's a woman.
Right.
They believe what
But the group that's out trying to make a living in this country, they're not political. It's a big group. They're not political.
They're not.
But little things strike their mind like, okay, my husband just left. He has to drive 50 miles this way. I got to drive 35 this way. I got to get home. We're deciding who's going to pick up who from soccer. And then I look at the TV, and all these people are up there, and I'm like, okay, what do you guys get
Don't
the
you
day
have
off?
a job?
That's resonating. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to change it around a little bit, and we're going to do our weekly segment of BKP was right. You know I love to be right, okay? But
I told you so.
Yeah, I'm going to be right after these messages. Thanks, great, Josh.